Over the weekend, we found out that Jill Biden was in the Ukraine. Well, Ukraine. They don't like it when you say the Ukraine. So, Jill Biden was in Ukraine. Joe Biden was nowhere to be found. And Kamala Harris seems to catch no love. Let's talk about it. Hello, everyone. This is Keith. Welcome to the Ghetto Sapien channel. Let's talk about why was Jill Biden in Ukraine? What was the purpose of sending her there? Why did she go before Joe went? Why did she go before Kamala went? Why? Let's look into a little story here on Yahoo News. Jill Biden pays surprise visit to Ukraine. Meets First Lady. It's like she meets a real First Lady this time, folks. Okay, that's how I read it. And a little more details here. Oh, there she is with children lining them up for Joe. She just sends them back for me. It says Joe Biden made an unannounced visit to Western Ukraine on Sunday, holding a surprise Mother's Day meeting with First Lady Olena Zelensky to show U.S. support for the embattled nation as Russia presses a punishing war in the eastern regions. She became the first high-profile American to enter Ukraine during a war, while Zelensky's appearance was her first since Russia invaded Ukraine on February 24th. So, Joe Biden is one of the highest or the latest high-ranking official from America to visit Ukraine. I like how they kind of smooth over that and don't point out the fact that her husband hasn't been there yet, that Kamala hasn't been there yet, and I think the other high-profile American was Nancy Pelosi, who has no power either. Look, the presidency, the whole reason behind the office, I won't say the whole reason, but a very large responsibility of that office is to project American power overseas, to be able to negotiate with kings and queens and czars. So the presidency has a lot of power overseas. It's in fact, he has his most power overseas, more than even within his own country, to act as one guy representing an entire country. So it doesn't make any sense sending the First Lady who has no power. She can't sign any treaties. She can't negotiate any treaties. She can't negotiate peace accords. She's just there for show. Why not send the vice president at least? If Joe Biden can't make it, and we all know, we probably have a good suspicion as to why he can't make it, because Joe's not to be seen on the weekends. It's rare he makes any press conferences on a Saturday. It seems like on Friday, anytime after pudding o'clock, home dude is on a plane, on a flight to Delaware, where there are no records of who's visiting the president. Even though I think it's Pfizer guys in lab coats pumping him with experimental drugs that he just tested out on a chimpanzee just to keep his brain cells firing between Monday and Friday as they put him in cryogenic sleep on Saturday and Sunday. You just don't see him on the weekends. He's just simply not up to it. But why not at least send Kamala? Give that girl some light. Come on. She hasn't even been to Europe.
And I haven't been to Europe.
See? She wants to go. Put her out there. But I think what happened was she screwed up so badly, the board and no one trusts her. That's one of the reasons. She also has these awkward moments in front of the camera where she's laughing for some ungodly reason. It's typically when she can't answer a question, she try and laugh it off. But I think there's another issue going on. I think Kamala and Jill don't get along. I think they kind of hate each other's guts. See, right here. According to New York Post, Joe Biden was against picking Kamala Harris as husband's running mate, new book reveals. Yeah, they don't get along. Our foreign policy is running on petty right now. Instead of sending Kamala, they sent the first lady. They're giving Kamala no play, and this is a scene that did it right here. I think this moment in June 27th, 2019, when Kamala accused Joe of racism, which they should have known better. She's going to accuse somebody of racism eventually. And Joe happened to be a pretty convenient target right there. Kamala claimed her own party was racist and sexist, why she lost the primaries. Like she's the first one kicked out. So she was going to throw it at somebody. But the whole article, it's a couple of paragraphs long, but really sums it up is the second to last paragraph, where it just puts everything right in perspective. It reads, according to a book published last year, Battle for the Soul Inside the Democrats' Campaign to Defeat Trump by Edward Isaac Dover, Jill Biden told reporters on a conference call that Harris should go F herself for attacking her husband during the Democrat primaries. There you go. That's why Kamala ain't going nowhere. I think they're going to just keep sidelining her until 2024 and she just goes away. Jill can't stand a woman. Told Kamala to go F herself. I guess it's probably the last person she hasn't F'd in DC, so might as well just end up with yourself. Okay, that was a petty joke. But it's not looking good for Kamala. And I don't know what they're going to do. They're kind of stuck with her. They can't, if they primary her, if they replace her with Hillary, something wild like that, because Joe's not going to be running in 2024. I don't care what he says or what he thinks. He's not going to be there in 2024, at least not mentally. So it's going to be Kamala. That's all they got. They can't get rid of her because, according to Tom Perez, I think he's still the head of the DNC, as he rightfully says, the Democrat Party, the backbone of the Democrat Party, black women. They vote to the highest degree of any group for the Democrat Party. To get rid of Kamala is a suicide mission. They can't replace her with anyone because they'll lose the black female vote. They won't lose all of it. They won't even lose a majority of it, but they'll lose enough where it'll cut them off at the knees. And I think they know it. So like I said, they're stuck. This is their bed. They made in it. They wet the bed. They crapped the bed. They did an Amber Heard. So they're stuck with that bed. And I think they'll probably just try and take everyone down with them on the way down because I think they're pretty much going to lose 2024 because of Kamala. But back to Joe Biden. Jill, I don't know how you send your first lady into a war zone without you going there first. Hasn't happened since Eleanor Roosevelt in 1942. She did it for World War II. Hillary went to Bosnia in 1996, said she was shot at, even though the war ended in 1995. So it's probably Bill who took a pot shot at her because he didn't go to Bosnia in 1996. She went by herself. But other than that, Jill's the only one who's gone to a war zone. The only first lady gone to a war zone, active war zone, without her husband. And that, you gotta admit, takes a big old set, because the last couple of people who trusted Biden in a war zone didn't end up too well. That could have easily been Jill out there chasing down the last cargo plane out of the country. That is not a healthy sight to see, the last American flight out of a country and you're on the ground. So, all kidding aside, this is not a good sign for Kamala, but it's probably a good sign for the country. Yeah, her losing and the Democrats going down with it. But that is my take on this subject. What's yours? Like, share, comment, and subscribe.